Just like that.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. You know what isn't easy? Dealing with a traitor like Griffith. Which is exactly what our hero, the king, is about to do.
I was like, where's he going with this? Fucking our hero, the king. Oh, no.
Yeah, this is off to a terrible start. Okay, so last we left off, Griffith was fucking the princess and then trying to get away and caught by the whole army of soldiers at the castle.
The entire goddamn army.
The entire army. And we end off on this weird image of Charlotte just kind of looking aghast at her father, who tore the blankets off to see that she has bled on the bed from her hymen being broken, and now he is mad. So that's where we left off. Yeah, let's just get into some bad shit.
So it starts off, I mean, first page here, Griffith's strung up, shirtless.
Yeah.
Got his breeches on. And we just have like a quintessential torture chamber. Like I didn't really consider it before, but it's like pretty fucking stereotypical. It's like what you'd see in any film or show, except like, they don't use half the shit. It's just there to
like an Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden, the like roly thing.
Yeah. I can't remember the names of all this stuff.
Hot pokers and coals and shit.
It looks like they're cooking some soup on it, but like I know that's obviously molten something to pour on people.
Yeah.
But it looks like
it's
soup.
just Also, like, oddly enough, like I just noticed a ball and chain.
Yeah.
In the back, like just a ball and chain.
Yeah, it's really odd.
Yeah, so the king rolls down and he like the king is basically just upset at Griffith for like being, I thought you were more than just a fucking thieving mercenary shitbag.
Yeah.
But now you've spoiled my daughter.
Yeah, does he say that? He says something something similar. But yes, it's weird because I kind of forgot this, but it seems almost like he's regretful that he has to do it at first here.
Yeah.
That turns pretty fucking quickly because Griffith can't keep his stupid mouth shut. But yeah, we get some just nasty images of him whipping him and just like pieces of skin and like blood coming off and stuff. Fucking gross. Just bad shit all around. Also, I don't remember from before. Has the king always looked this haggard, or is he drawn to look worse now?
I think it's definitely like before he was made to look like old, but maybe a little more regal.
Yeah.
And then like starting on the last page of the previous chapter, like they go to like sweaty pedophile real fast.
Yeah, he looks gross.
Looks ragged, he's wrinkly, gross, yeah.
Yeah, he looks gross. I'm wondering how much of that is just the lighting that they're trying to get across, but like I'm sure it's double duty. Like they're making the lighting worse because they're in a dungeon here, but also it's like helping him look more like a creep or like a bad guy, I guess, because he doesn't look this fucked up earlier, I don't think, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering. I guess I could look back, but I don't want to bother. I'd rather just say stuff that's untrue, because that's podcasting, baby. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, we get a lot of him just kind of monologuing while whipping Griffith and torturing him about just kind of being like a commoner scumbag piece of shit that he didn't think he was going to be. But
yeah, and like, I mean, it's a very good job of like the king starting out with like, my daughter is everything to me.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I would give myself the entire kingdom in exchange for that. You know, that checks out. Like, that's parenting.
It's a father. Yeah.
But like, that erodes.
Yeah. So, yeah. Starting on page 54 and 55. Yeah, Griffith.
As soon as he calls her a flower, though.
Yeah, no.
Like, even before Griffith says anything, he's like, "You've taken the one flower that gives me warmth."
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. And that's kind of where it starts.
Yeah.
Where Griffith's like, oh, I know why you're mad. It's because you wanted to fuck your daughter, and I got to her first.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gross. This whole part is extremely gross for a bunch of the context is absolutely god awful, terrible. The way everything is drawn is brutal and just kind of fucked up. And yeah, I don't know. Everything about this whole scene is really shitty. This is kind of this is kind of where for me it starts, like the great downhill turn.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Well, yeah. I mean, so Griffith has his like. I actually kind of like. I mean, he uses the you wanted to fuck your daughter thing,
yeah,
but he uses it as an entry into like, you're lazy, like you've done nothing more than not fail, which like,
yeah, which is
and
true.
All Griffith has known is literally the opposite of that.
Yeah,
like
all I've done is succeed.
By like struggling.
Yeah.
But then immediately on the next page, like, boy oh boy, that whip is flying and curling and blood be spurting.
Yeah, so when I first was looking at this, it looked like he ripped Griffith in half because of the way it's drawn, but it's just to like show that the thing is moving quickly and there's blood splatter, but he looks like he completely tore him apart with a whip, which is not physically possible.
The thing is, and like, I think for stuff like this with characters getting whipped, even like in films, though maybe like with the exception being more like brutal films or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of any specific examples, but like the wounds are drawn really deep.
Passion of the Christ. Ever see it?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
I went to church every Sunday for 20 years. I didn't need to see the film. One
of the criticisms people had is that it's almost kind of like gore porn in like, do you want to see Jesus get tortured for a while? Because they show that shit. Like they show him get whipped with the cat and nine tails or whatever, just chunks of skin and blood and stuff just flying around. Like it's fucked.
Dude. Yeah. Actually, in hindsight, I actually have gone to, I mean, it wasn't like nearly so bad as that, but like I guess it was like for an Easter play. Okay. But like they decided to do like the whole deal. And like this church that it's not the one that like my family normally went to. We were there with like my godparents or whatever at their church.
Yeah.
And I thought it was all like new agey. No. They had a dude like they invested in like fake blood packets and makeup and shit. And they had like Jesus hauling a cross down and just like blood and shit. And I'm like,
good Lord.
Fucking, when are we hunting for eggs though? Like, I was like 10 or whatever.
I shouldn't be seeing this. This isn't
what it's about. There's like an Easter bunny or something.
So obviously Griffith is Jesus. Like. Yeah.
Yeah, he is the guy.
I mean,
and then even like, dude, like that look that he gives, and the king, like the soldiers are like, "What the fuck?" And the king is like, "Wow, I really gave it to him." Like everybody's kind of in awe of how fucking.
Oh, like after, I guess it's like page 58, his just like looking at them or whatever.
Yeah.
Then we get the weird like gimp character.
Like the fucking fucked up the torturer person.
Some just like midget gremlin with a hair lip.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, cleft lip and like the fucked up nostrils and eyes. And yes, sire.
More monster than human, to be sure. Yeah. But like not.
Do whatever you wish with this man.
Yeah, it's
fucking
so cliche. Yeah.
I mean, the fucking difference is like he does do whatever he wishes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they go, there's no holding back in Berserk.
No. So yes, it's one of the things I love about it, but it's easy to understand why people can't deal with it.
Oh, totally.
If you're not a sick piece of shit that has grown up watching like terrible things on the internet, then I get it. Like maybe don't go too far into Berserk. But yes.
I mean, this is even in like before as many people were desensitized. This was coming out, this part was like 97, 98.
Sure. Yeah. 90s for sure. So weird. So yeah, they kind of leave him to, we don't see really what happens to him for a bit with the torturer. This is, I don't actually remember, but I think this is one of the last times we actually see Griffith for a bit as readers, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get the king like doing his last bit of monologue about like the end of your dreams, your ambition, and then you leave.
Okay. There's no easy way to talk about what happens next. The king goes to his daughter's room and molests her and starts sucking her tits while she's sleeping. I'm not gonna pretend like this is gonna be easy to talk about, but everything about this is absolutely fucking terrible and disgusting. And
it's drawn that way.
It's drawn that way.
Holy shit, it's gross. Just fucking gross.
This is the type of shit that, like, if you're listening along and, like, reading along, you can probably skip the rest of this chapter. You're not missing out. Unless you want to see an old man suck his daughter's tits. Or, like, try to. And then she wakes up screaming at him about it. That's... Yeah. You can skip the rest of this chapter. It's...
I mean, that's... honestly, that's, like, the...
That's the rest. Yeah.
That's like it.
The whole rest of the chapter is like 5 or 6 pages of him going to her room and just like thinking about how like what Griffith did to her body and then like slowly undresses her. And yeah, it's so fucked. Oh, so fucked up. We do kind of get a cool ending of just like Griffith tied up in a dungeon.
Yeah. In shackles. Like just whipped his shit still.
Yeah. Saying this is worthless.
Yeah.
Yes, worthless.
And this
is
like,
worthless.
I think part of the effectiveness, like from here and then going forward, is just like because we ultimately know so little about Griffith.
Yeah.
Like we have no fucking idea how he's actually viewing this currently, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
Like, is he scheming to get out of it? Does he think it's just a fucking little stumble? Is he giving up? Like, we just don't know enough to to do it, and it makes it more interesting because you're thinking about it.
Also, it makes it interesting because, again, we're going back to this whole like you should just skip the first 3 chapters or whatever thing, and just start with the Golden Age. We know something happens with Griffith. We know this isn't the last we see of him. So
yeah.
I think that's like important. Without that like building block, that you might just think this is the end, honestly, for him. Like, yeah, dude. I don't know. It's pretty bad.
I can't. It's such a fucking dumb take. I feel like we talk about it every episode, but like, it's so bad. And I see it. Somebody, like, if I want to look up the Berserk subreddit for discussion, it's there every single time. I think once a day at least.
Yeah.
There's like a handful of people who are like, I'm diving in. Is my copy wrong?
Is my copy wrong?
They literally think that there was an error, or like they grabbed if there's like an issue like a deluxe volume 0 or something.
Oh yeah. It's like, well, technically yes, and you're reading it.
The worst part is when it's people who say they watched the 97 anime and they're like, what's going on here? I'm like, dude, you watch the anime. There's an episode or 2 of that shit. You should know this.
Oh, well,
it's weird.
So, I mean, that kind of disregards even the argument, though, right? Because the anime thought it was important enough to at least spend some time in its short run of it.
Yeah, you'll get a little bit there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, checkmate, atheists. Like, this is the correct answer, because they all think you should get that little tidbit at least. I think it's super important too, because they don't give you anything really solid about Griffith except for the fact that he might become like a demon or a villain of some sort, but we don't even know that necessarily, because he's not really like super evil either when he's femto. He's just kind of like, we were summoned here and this is what we do.
Yeah. And I just like, I kind of, my thing is there are people who are like, oh, it makes the events that happen like so much stronger if you like don't start with the Black Swordsman arc. And it's like, you're not wrong. Like, it does make any little thing that happened, like if you encounter demons for the first time, right? And you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It would make that hit harder. But like, knowing that it's coming and still being like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's just that well done. Like, it doesn't matter.
I agree. I also, yeah, you are right. We talk about this too much, but it is one of those, like, I don't understand. I understand what they mean, but I don't understand why they would give that advice to somebody reading it the first time. It seems like you're setting people up to fail, I think, or like not get the most out of it. I don't know. That's our opinion, but yeah. So I lied. We see more of Griffith in the next chapter.
Yeah, it's literally, we both just fucked up on that one.
Yeah, it starts off with him just like dying, essentially.
Yeah, he's just like laying there in
like straw of some sort. Yeah,
hay, but like kind of looks like hair, but not melded into his hair for once.
Yeah, really cool use of just like purposefully drawing like the body in a weird contorted position, and like, yeah, just, I don't know, it's super uncomfortable. Also, we don't see his face is kind of like obscured by his hair and stuff. It's everything about this image is just disgusting. It's really bad, and, which is kind of interesting because there's not very many times Griffith has looked disgusting in here, if ever before. Like,
no, not really.
He's looked intimidating. He's looked cheerful. He's looked like just straight up hot. Like, he's looked everything else but disgusting. And this is kind of like the first time he does, really.
Yeah.
Speaking of disgusting.
Then we immediately get more King and Charlotte bullshit, which, like, is rough. She shoves him away. She's shivering. She doesn't fucking look at him. Yeah, there is the bottom of page 72 is just Gross.
Yeah, it's so bad. Okay. So all the context aside, there's no good way to talk about this, like any positives without sounding like a fucking freak.
Oh, go on.
The way that it's, so the king here is definitely now drawn almost like you would draw a zombie or a Walking Dead or something, like with.
Oh, totally.
He looks very non-human in the way he's kind of depicted and stuff, and it's kind of like juxtaposed between this extremely clean, curvy, beautiful young girl, and there's like when they're shown side by side, it is like off-putting how like he looks so much worse because she looks so innocent, and it's so fucking disturbing. It is so cursed. Every image is so cursed. Particularly at the bottom of page 73.
God, it's
yeah,
it's fucking rough, dude. Yeah, King is like
he's trying to rape her. He's raping her. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. Mm-hmm. But it's important to note his positioning. He is going to perform oral, and right before he gets there, Charlotte shouts out Lord Griffith. That gives him pause, and then Charlotte fucking heals him in the eye, which is
awesome.
Not
so
cathartic
good.
enough, but still pretty good.
Yeah.
And like break some of his teeth.
I think it's important also, because you're right, the way this whole scene is playing out is not the same as Donovan raping Kid Guts, where there is obviously an aggressive, like, sexual rape going on with one person just completely overpowering. This is more like a cowardly incel whimpering, like, just pathetic old man, just like slowly trying to crawl his way up to his daughter or whatever. It is definitely different in feel. I'm not going to be the type of guy to say which one is creepier, because they're both absolutely terrible, but for different reasons. Where
totally.
Yeah, it's just kind of interesting that there's different depictions of sexual assault, I guess.
Yeah.
God damn it. I was dreading actually doing this episode.
So, the king's all fucking bloody. His face is fucked up, and he leaves a shivering and crying Charlotte saying, "Save me, Lord Griffith, save me." And then we get a really close up picture of his broken fucking face and teeth, and he's like, "Damn you, Griffith." And then we do.
You're right. Away. It's not enough.
But I find it interesting how this kind of contrasts to the first shit we get again in the first 3 chapters with what's his name and Theresa, where he is a fucking demon who has made the demonic pact and is like eating heretics and shit, i.e. just anybody.
Sure.
But he still cares about his daughter enough to like, he can't, right? He like can't bring himself to make the second pact to sacrifice her, and he ends up getting like dissolved into hell for eternity.
Yeah.
Contrasted with the king here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just find that interesting. Like kind of a who's the real demon sort of deal.
Sure. Also, the fact that this is all Griffith's fault to him is like, I don't know. This king is just an absolute pathetic piece of shit. It's not cathartic enough what happens to him here.
Yeah.
But it's a taste, at least. At least she fights back. So, yeah. Oh my God. It's so fucking brutal. I hate this part so much. I need you to just like, let's not get into it, because obviously I don't want spoilers and we shouldn't spoil anything. Does it get worse than this in the future? Like the same level, I'm assuming, is probably going to happen. I mean, like worse.
No, it gets worse.
It gets worse. Yeah, of course it does.
I'll say it gets worse before they they ladder back down. I guess it's not like it gets worse and then like you're just good, but like it gets worse and then it kind of peaks and then it does like peak. It doesn't just fucking escalate the sexual violence until you fucking Sudoku yourself. But
okay. The follow-up question: does the peak happen in the Golden Age arc?
I mean, honestly, kind of in my opinion, like
it gets
we've
worse.
Already read the peak in a sense.
I mean,
with a certain character that I hate, that I don't want to talk about in like 2 episodes or whatever.
Oh, that we haven't recorded yet.
Correct.
Okay, dude. Straight up, no. I don't think that is as bad as this.
You don't think it's as bad?
I mean, the reason being, it wasn't. I wasn't
as drawn.
I can't.
That you care as much.
No, it's the fact that like. Sorry, the idea that you could do this to your daughter enrages me so much. I like this is the type of shit that I would murder somebody for. I would just straight up be like, I'm going to jail because this is absolutely fucking terrible.
I could see that.
It's so bad. At least what we're talking about is kind of like, yeah, it's a demon. Like demons are shitty, evil pieces of shit. So yeah, that makes sense.
I guess my thing was like with the other thing that we'll like get to, I guess, but like for me, it's just
the other thing's not like good, dude. It's really
the other thing
made me feel physically ill.
Obviously. Yeah, dude.
The other thing made me feel ill. This makes me enraged, though. Is the thing.
I think for me, I like focus more on like the fact that the other thing is like not relevant in like any fucking like we just didn't need it. Does literally nothing, you know.
It's gratuitous.
At least here, it's bad, but like
yeah.
And obviously, it could be shorter, right? You could show less or whatever, but like it at least does stuff.
It moves the plot forward. It gives us some characterization or something. Yeah, no.
The other stuff is just senseless.
The other stuff is gratuitous. You're right. It is.
But there's also some shit that is. I mean, there's like without like thinking in depth about it, there's at least like 5 other things I can think of.
Right.
And like. For me, I have an easy time like picking out which one I think is the worst and all that, but like I could easily see someone else being like, "This is way more fucked up. What's wrong with you, Ben?"
Especially depending on like what your history with things are, people that you know, or for sure.
What your history is, what fucking heinous acts like disgust you the most?
Yeah. I get you.
I mean, it's really, you got so many flavors to choose from in this manga.
It's great. All these flavors, and they chose incest. Great.
More like wincest, am I right, fellow King supporters?
We go back to Casca, which is a breath of fresh air. It is.
Except then it's followed up by immediately, what could this be about? Griffith calling us out here suddenly? As the reader, I'm alarmed.
So, here's the thing. I don't care. Get me out of what we were just in.
Yeah, no, totally. Absolutely.
Like, anything's better. Maybe not for the Band of the Hawk, who find out that they have been called out into the middle of a field to be ambushed by the King's men and completely murdered, essentially.
Yep. Dude, I mean, it's rough to watch for different reasons, obviously.
Totally.
Like for like emotional attachment reasons and shit.
Yeah.
Our intro to like them realizing that it's an ambush with Pippin, like hearing, we get like, he's hearing something, and then fucking Ricard or whoever is like, what's up? And then Pippin fucking shouts.
Yeah.
Everybody and they're all like, holy fuck, he yelled. Because like Pippin doesn't, he's that archetype. He doesn't fucking say shit. Like that always that sort of trope always gets me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's real good. And then the next page is just like
arrows.
A rainfall of arrows coming down and just murdering all the nondescript people that we don't know the names of.
The fucking thing is, though, I know that Guts knows their names.
No, I know.
It hurts.
Like they're real people in the context of this, but us as the reader, like we don't know their names because they're wearing normal clothes and not weird helmets.
Yeah, and like their faces are not. They don't have like a look,
right? Or like a ponytail or something. Actually, one of them literally does have a ponytail, but that's beside the point.
It's not like a good ponytail. It's just a shit ponytail.
Yeah. This is neither here nor there, but it really, really bugs me in everything when the horses die, because animals dying to me is harder.
They're pure, dude.
All horses do they just want to run. They didn't ask to be in any army. Like,
see, if it were dogs, I'd agree. I've never met a horse I liked, though.
Well, I mean, I got off work late because of horses, so I kind of agree, but still, I can find it in my heart. Yeah.
Yeah, no, these people are like getting peppered.
Yeah, it's just scenes or pages and panels of.
I would like to go on.
No, go.
Oh, I was just gonna. It's like we do get like the big wide shot of like
the double page.
They are fully surrounded. Like the king has decided that we cannot spare any man on this mission. Send the entire goddamn army. Like, look how sprawling. Like they literally fade out of the page because there's so many like platoons and shit.
This army is bigger than when they were taking the fort.
Yeah, dude.
The Doldry. This is a bigger army.
Yeah.
And you know what?
I guess like
it makes sense because one man killed 100 people.
Like, holy shit, they got that one guy in there.
You don't know what.
Yeah, they don't know. If Guts was here, whole thing turns out differently.
Yeah, because like as far as the king knows, one guy took out like half an army by himself, and then one platoon took the most impenetrable fortress of all time. Like, for all he knows, these are actual superheroes that are in this place. So I get it, actually.
Yeah, big shout out to the second to top panel on page 84. Got a lot of good stuff there. We have the horse with a weirdly drawn like eye.
Yeah.
Like just a wide eye. We got Ricard's like fucking wonky, like half squint face. And then we get the fucking close up of Corcus like photo bombing the panel. Oh.
Yeah, there's some good stuff of just like the cutting between them being peppered and the advancing of the army with their crossbows out and shooting and stuff. It's cool. I mean, it's cool to see. Not super cool that these characters that we're growing to love are being absolutely fucking annihilated.
Yeah.
That's not as cool, especially because of the way this part kind of ends off for now is a whole bunch of arrows about to kill one of the best characters of this whole thing, Casca, on her horse. And then it just cuts away.
Cuts to fucking Jesus Griffith.
Like literally, actually, for anybody not reading,
Jesus.
Being held by his palms, through chains or whatever, in the cross.
I never noticed that on the first read through. They fucking have a chain hook through his palm. Oh, yep. That's pretty cursed. And he also has like spikes through his arms, like nailing him to the thing.
Yeah. And a weight holding him down to pull him.
Yeah. So it's not actually like a cross or anything, right? But
no,
that first shot is clearly made. Like you have this circle thing around his head, like the sort of
to look like a halo.
That king, like the kingly whatever thing that you see in like every icon of all time.
Yep. He's meant to look like Jesus, for sure.
Very clearly doing that, and our little torture dude is like literally weeping with happiness because Griffith is so beautiful and he gets to fuck him up however he wants.
And like, he doesn't complain, make a sound. He doesn't die on him. Like, it's fun. Yeah. I hate this little shit, dude. I fucking hate him so much.
We get the bit with him. He takes the egg of the king off of Griffith and he's like, oh, it's so pretty. Can I keep it? The eye opens. He startles and drops it down the drain.
And it just
womp womp.
I really like how so that's the end of the chapter, and I like how they just show the panel of it like close up, then a little bit further away, and then just like further away so much that it's only kind of like a little light glimpse in the darkness. Yeah. It's just a really good way to show that it's like floating into nothingness, into somewhere.
Yeah, dude. And
on a happier note,
cut to guts, baby. This is what it's all about.
Yep. Here we go.
It's literally just a fucking tournament of the strongest people.
Yeah, it's really weird. We leave Griffith in like basically being slowly murdered and losing the egg of the king, which we know is going to be super important at some point. Every other character we've grown to love dying, to Guts just being like, oh, hey, this place is having a tournament. Let's go there.
Dude, him on page 98 where he's just strolling in, he has that like little happy face on him.
Yeah.
he's just living life. Meanwhile, everybody he's ever known is like fucking eating it.
Yeah, he's so happy. Oh my god. I have a feeling this is one of the last times we see him happy.
Dude, and him like fucking, he's just so like chill.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, someone's like, whoa, it's not your turn. He's like, looks open to me. Don't get so wound up, man. It's a festival.
Yeah,
just like leaning on that guy who's like a head shorter than him.
This whole part is cool though. Kind of starts off with like us getting a glimpse of a fight going on between some giant dude in giant armor against like a pretty stereotypical Arabian sort of warrior with like a turban and veil covering his face with some sort of a knife getup or whatever, almost like an Assassin's Creed type thing.
He has the tri dagger things that, is it Volo from Soul Calibur?
Yeah.
The guy who moonwalks in place.
Yeah.
He's got a couple of those.
Yeah, there's a name for those. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but
silly tri-blade thingies from Soul Calibur. That's the term.
Tri-blade?
Tri-blade.
What if they were box cutters? 3 box cutters.
Just 3 I mean, I'm out.
What if it was
I don't care what my abilities are. I don't care what my abilities. Is the box cutter like, is it attached to anything? Does it have range?
Yeah, his wrists or whatever. Well, I guess he's holding that. It's not attached to his wrists.
I mean, like, that would feasibly be fine, depending on what weapon I have. But if, like, that fucker has, like, a box cutter at the end of a rope that he's swinging, I'm out. I don't want that noise.
So the weapon is a katar.
I knew that. I know that term.
Yeah, it's a...
nuts.
A katar is a push dagger from the Indian subcontinent. But his specifically kind of have 2 like little prongs on either end to make it a tri-blade instead of a single, which katars generally are. single. Anyways, I mean, I just wanted to talk about it because this is kind of the first time we've seen like a more ethnic type person in general here, specifically with like his own fighting style, because it's important because he beats the big dude and then Guts is like, oh, I can beat you or whatever, and that the fight starts. But again, when they're fighting, the cool line drawing of like the way he's moving around like blade attacks or whatever. Is this the first time we've seen that Guts is like really quick? Or we've seen that he's quick, but like, I don't know. There's a lot of attacks here happening.
It might be a new high just because he's been fighting against so many big beefy opponents.
He's been training, yeah.
And like, I mean, I think the only other thing I can think of would be against like the purple rhino. General was like pretty fast, but that wouldn't be as fast as this because this dude is literally has like 2 small daggers and he's really lithe, right? So like, yeah, I think in theory this would be like the quickest we've seen.
One of the faster ones, yeah. Oh wait, but one of those demons. No, that's after this. Okay, because that's in the Black Swordsman stuff. No, in the intro.
Oh.
In the like first chapter or whatever, the one demon has like a whip or something.
Oh yeah.
Or like is whipping like a tentacle or something around. I can't remember. I think it's like a tentacle with like an axe on it or something.
Or a barb.
But like, I guess this is technically before, so this might be one of the. Anyways, it doesn't matter. This is a cool fight, though. It starts off good with like they're chatting or whatever, and then he just kind of like flies at him. The bottom of page 101, we just see the character from Silat or whatever, Silat, just kind of come right almost at the camera, I'll call it, but like at Guts' face.
It's so cool. It's such a good angle.
Yeah, it's such a good angle. And not only is it cool because like of all the slashing around and Guts moving around it, but then like at the bottom of that, we see that he kind of like reveals a hidden knife in his boots as well. And then the next page is like the most impossible thing to see properly the first time. Just how his leg movement. I don't understand how his leg is moving at the top of page 103.
Yeah.
It's like bending backwards or something.
Yeah, because the rest of him is like kind of normal.
Yeah. So
I don't fucking know, dude. There's like 3 different directional spirals.
So what's happening?
His knee and his foot.
Yeah, so I'll explain what's happening. So like it's easier to be seen. What's happening is he's throwing his body down, like let's say his left or right shoulder down, and doing a spin kick to kick with his feet in the air, and that's when Guts uses the hilt of his blade to catch his foot as he's spinning, and then moves it to like spin him around.
Yeah,
but it's so fucking hard to see. The only way you can actually like tell that is at the top of page 103. You see his right, which would our left, like viewer left, his right leg is going upwards, indicating that his movement is kind of at a downward, like left angle. And there's no way you would notice that otherwise, because his top leg movement doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's really wonky. I mean, it's cool, but
it's so wonky. The most important part is that we see no matter what, the panel where Guts just like brings his sword out a little bit to catch his foot.
Yeah, catch him on the hilt, and then he comes out with the other foot.
Yeah,
and he fucking he just catches it with his like metal clad hand.
Yeah, and then he just does this like backflip sort of thing. This fight is like, so cool. It's so awesome.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he does like classic like hella flexible flip shit.
Yeah.
With his legs caught on Guts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super cool.
And then Guts just fucking slaps him aside.
Just throws him with his sword. Yeah. It's super cool. That's the whole chapter is this fight.
Yep.
But it's a good one. I really like it. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, but we do learn. So the sponsor of this is also looking for soldiers because they're going to go on a large scale robber hunt inside my territory. And Guts is like, nah, I'm not about that shit. I'm just looking for strong people to fight.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, oh, in that case, rest assured. They say that the woman boss of those bandits is such a good sword fighter, even 10 large men couldn't defeat her. Guts is like, holy shit, a woman?
Yeah.
The guy's like, this former mercenary group. What was their name? They were in the 100-Year War. Bandits band. The Band of the Hawk.
Yeah.
And their woman boss, Casca. And Guts is just looking freaked out. He's just like, what the fuck? And then we get to the, I guess it's not even the start of the next chapter. It's like an in-between panel. We get that silhouette of him walking away from everybody.
Oh, from the group. Yeah.
It's a good placement.
Super cool. Yeah. Man, that's so cool. Yeah, I forgot all about that, honestly. That's super cool though. Fuck, yeah. I feel like there was are you on a peregrination, a night on a journey for the sake of learning training? Peregrinus? You know where I'm going?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
let's see. At some point, like 14-year-old Ben was like, "Man, I need a new email address." What's Latin for wanderer? Yeah, that's me. I'm the wanderer. So fucking.
I wasn't gonna say anything about it because I think you still use it.
It's like my shit email. Like I have 3 emails now. I just made one. I did at some point try to do like just Drathius. Yeah. I got that one caught in limbo. Oh. Like I did that weird thing where like the email is created, but for some reason like something didn't take and I couldn't actually access it. But when I tried making it again, it's like, no, that's taken. So.
Oh, okay.
It's caught dead. So I have like a Drathius 25 for some stuff. And then obviously like I made a professional email. Sure. After that incident at the library.
Of course.
Is it still Dr. Athius? Yep. Why would it be different?
I wonder how many people actually, like, in our little community actually know why it's Dr. Athius. Because I bet it's not many.
I think some, because that was a more recent thing, I guess. But it wasn't
more
like
recent being
recent,
like 5 years ago.
It wasn't 5 years ago.
It was a while
Damn.
ago. Yeah.
I guess it was pre-COVID time at least.
And COVID was 2 years ago.
Yeah. Oh. And then now it's just Dr. Atheus.
Well, I mean, to some people, I'm not doing all those periods in when I link to stuff or anything.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
In my heart, it's still just Drathius.
Yeah. Peregrinus. Speaking of wanderers, we get the next chapter, The Fugitives, which we kind of catch up with the Band of the Hawk, or the remnants thereof, from the point of view of 2 dudes like looking for them or whatever.
Yeah, we finally found it. The Hawk's hideout. That fucking nerd with his eye protection.
Yeah. His little goggles that do nothing.
The little bard. Yeah, like the only thing they do is like stop a blade coming sideways.
Yeah, they keep his eyes.
Even then, probably not.
They keep his eyes in jail where they belong from all the things he's seen. But yeah, we kind of left off Casca about to be just peppered with arrows I guess it's kind of not important how they got out of that necessarily just yet, because we went to Guts and learned that she's the leader of the Band of the Hawks now, or what's left of them or whatever. And this is kind of like us catching back up with them after that stuff has happened. Casca does not look hurt at all.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the arrows dodged or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, plot armor. That plot armor thick, though.
Speaking of plot armor,
yeah.
I know that there's clothes there, and it's not necessarily what the panel looks like, but on page 113 where she's sitting and she says judo, it looks like she's just wearing like a fucking thong bodysuit.
Yeah, it really does.
It's such a...
I'm ready for my boudoir photos.
Yeah. Just chilling in the commander tent.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super weird.
But yeah, she's like ragged as shit, and Judo rolls in and he's like, you gotta rest. You gotta sleep.
Yeah. It's too much.
Fine.
Yeah.
We get like they're learning about like Griffith and stuff and like what's happening to him.
Kind of interesting that they do this through exposition, because Miro seems to really like showing us stuff happen, and we're kind of learning a lot of information with like the time passing. Like, they got out of the battle. Obviously, Casca is now running what's left of the band. They have people that infiltrated and found out about Griffith. Like, we're learning a lot, and they're learning a lot about stuff through dialogue and things happening off kind of screen, which is weird because Miro doesn't usually do that. He shows us everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's good because I think Miro realizes at this point, like, this pacing has to keep up. Like, there has to be things. Yeah. It's happening, right? Like, we're not fucking around anymore.
And like for this, there's only like so much you could do to show, right? Like, if it's going to be a thing report, it's not like they haven't gone there yet, right? It's like their contacts in Windham Castle or whatever. Yeah. So like, how are you can only do so much. It would take so much time.
Yeah. And also those people don't matter. It's the people that it's Pippin, Judo, Reichert, the other dipshit Corcus. Like, these are the people that matter. So if they're not the ones infiltrating, then there's no reason to follow them necessarily.
Yeah, man,
I've felt this tired before, where she starts eating the soup and just falls asleep.
she fucking, well, she's like going to eat it and she's like shaking and then tears up. The soup hits the floor and she's just leaning on the thing, like crying a little bit, like fuck.
Too much.
And probably falls asleep.
Yeah, just too much.
We get Corcus being all fucking over. Yeah, because he's a fair weather mercenary.
Yep.
That dude gets a ring planted in half of his skull.
Yeah. This part is cool.
Little sentry, just standing there, barely guarding, as you do on watch, and then all of a sudden a little donut comes through the air, and that donut goes halfway through the man's face.
Yeah, thrown by the dude that fought with Guts, one of the mercenaries that obviously was hired in that scene, or shortly thereafter.
Yep. Someone yells enemy raid, and then Casca goes from on the table, still kind of with shaking lines indicated, to running out.
Adrenaline's a hell of a drug, dude. That shit's real.
Think how fucking, but like just how exhausted you, like how many times has she been like pumping on adrenaline this whole time, like you'd just be fucking exhausted.
I mean, that's why as she was trying to take a sip of soup, she fell apart.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So she's getting she gets into a fight with with the dude.
They didn't say his name, right?
I don't think they said his name, though.
Okay. Do they ever? Because I don't think they do.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's just a
someone calls him Turban Man.
Yeah, we're not going to refer to him by that. That's...
You know what? That's
That's bad news. Doesn't matter.
He has a turban on his head.
Yeah.
He's literally wearing a turban.
Yeah, that's not what we do in 2022. We don't refer to people by what they wear for their ethnic stereotype. It's not what we do. Anyways,
but yeah, he gets in a fight with Casca, and I mean, she's holding her own. It's her.
Yeah, she's super nimble. There's a page 126, her doing like backflips or whatever. That scene is so fucking cool, where he's swinging and she's like tumbling forward or whatever.
Yeah.
As he's advancing. Yeah, that scene is so fucking good. Unfortunately, it kind of ends with like her slipping on the ground and then his katana is just stabbing right beside her head.
Yeah, he's like crossed over. Man, and then he does we get the whole like the bullshit. If you throw down your sword and order your men to surrender, fine. If not, I cut your head off here and now. I'll count to 3. You should choose. He says 1. And we get the panel of Pippin like kind of cutting through some dudes, and I think Judo's there as well. Yeah, he says 2, and he says 3, and we see a silhouette. Boom. Next page, some asshole says 4, and bam,
kicks him in the back.
Kicks him, just fucking boots him on his face, and it's guts, and it's so fucking cool.
So this is straight up a rip-off, not a rip-off, an homage to Superman. This is a Superman pose or panel.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring it back 1 second. This is one of the first times that she's being pinned down by an enemy that isn't saying, I'm going to stick my dick down your throat.
Yeah, it's kind of refreshing to just be like beaten in a fight and not have it be more than that.
Not only that, but he even like starts it off with like wearing a sword means you're a warrior and I won't hold back because you're a woman. And then he just attacks or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's real dope. I'm really glad that he's not. And now, suck my dick, you bitch. Like, it'd be so fucking bad. I felt like it's worthy of calling out that he doesn't do that.
Yeah.
The Superman panel of guts is the type of shit that like I would be made fun of, but I would wear it on a t-shirt. It's so good.
Dude, and how they keep his eyes are shaded in and how they keep that shading while he's talking, and it's just so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Because she's like trying to make it out, right? He's silhouetted from the light behind. So she doesn't see his face. She just like, I mean, obviously she knows who he is, but man,
it's such a good, like, I mean, it's a cheesy movie line, but totally. It's so fucking good. Like, don't let some street performer do you in.
Yeah.
Pull yourself together, unit commander.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we get the fucking face. It's so good, though.
That face is so good. Yeah.
Classic gut smirk.
Yep.
From a man who never learned to truly smile.
It physically hurts to try. So he just doesn't.
He's flexing every muscle in his face right now.
Is this how humans do it? See, I'm happy, fellow humans.
And everyone's like, holy shit, it's guts.
Yeah.
And then our Qatar guy is like, oh, you're the 100 guys in one night, dude.
100 guys in one night. It's like, no. That's a different guy. I killed 100 men. Gay jokes. Anyways, yes, the fight continues, but now it's like, well, now I'm not going to hold back because we're not in a tournament. Angels, halos. So, I really like the trope in anime of just like opponent says the name of his attack.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah. This is the way that's drawn is super cool. The like rubbery looking arms just showing that he's like throwing out his discs or whatever. The bottom of page 135. Just in case.
Oh, dude.
Wasn't cleared.
I mean, going rubber arms like in the club.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, no, the Chakram is like going and Guts is like, what you up to? He gives it that fucking thumbs. I didn't notice that before. He just gives a thumbs down.
Oh, yeah.
I'd forgotten about it. Yeah, just the little motion of his thumb going down.
Oh my God.
Doom.
I gotta pull that for like a sticker in the Discord.
Pretty good.
That's a good sticker. Discord sticker.
Yeah, and then Judo's like, watch out, they changed direction on their own. And Guts looks like mildly alarmed before catching one on his sword hilt and the other around his finger.
Some weird ring toss game or something. Yeah.
And Guts is like, it might have been in trouble if there was 2 or 3 more of them. And the guy's like, ha!
Okay, then.
Urum. The name means thunder.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, I think the thing I like about this dude is that because he's so this is like a mirror decision. I like that he has a different ethnicity, different part of the world, so we get to see some different weaponry, and I'm sure that was like a choice of, it's really fun drawing swords and shit, but like what other cool shit around the world would mercenaries have? Like what weapons and stuff? So
yeah,
he brings out these like almost like ribbons or whatever.
They're literally ribbons, yeah.
They're literally ribbons that like I guess are sharp of some sort.
They're supposed to be. He says they're blades. The metal ribbons.
So does he say they're metal?
No.
Oh,
he
okay.
says the name. He says Urum?
Urumi, I guess, or whatever.
Urumi, yeah, I didn't notice the I. The name means thunder. It's like a thunderclap. What's with those weapons?
Oh, you're right. Actually,
5 blades that move like whips and cut like a weasel's slash. I can manipulate each blade individually.
Yeah, so this is actually a thing. Urumi is a sword with flexible whip-like blade originating modern day Kerala in the Indian subcontinent. It is thought to have existed as early from the Sangam period.
Nice.
It's treated as a steel whip, therefore requires prior knowledge of that weapon as well as a sword. For this reason, the Urumi is always taught last in Indian martial arts. Cool.
Makes sense.
Sure, because it seems unwieldy as fuck. If you're not careful, dude, you could really fuck yourself up, probably.
It's like nunchucks. You like hit yourself, except instead you like cut off a leg.
Yeah. Man, that's super cool. Today I learned. I didn't look it up the first time.
Oh, no, me neither.
Yeah, no, that's super cool.
Guts licks his own blood.
Yeah, he gets slashed up a little bit. He takes a hit on his face.
Yeah, he gets like his arm is cut and he gets some on his cheek.
Yeah. Yeah. This fight is super, super cool. I really like the way they show off like how this thing can fuck you up, because obviously they're not going to have one of the main characters who's kind of part of this fight get completely fucked up. So they make Guts move real fast around and kind of like disorient him as he's trying to hit him with the Urumi, and instead he ends up entangling just like some random nondescript mercenary that was part of the attack.
Some random fucker
and he just gets completely destroyed.
They do that anime thing, right? Where he gets like the shit wrapped around him and his face is all like fucked up. And then the next panel is like just a spray. I can't read Japanese. I have a feeling that the words there are just
yeah. Yeah, something similar, right? It's like
pressure.
It's like if you were bleeding in your mouth and then you just spit on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Just a terrible spray of blood. Yeah. Ugh. Gross.
And then I mean, Guy continues to talk about like, I'm surprised you can dodge this long, but it's only a matter of time. And Guts fucking takes a stance.
Yeah, but that's not the best part. He takes a stance, which gets the other guy to say, "Dance of 10 Blades." Starts doing some weird fucking stupid anime like tornado. Yeah.
Guts fucking flips his sword with all the air pressure.
Yeah.
Like fuck up the ribbons and then just goes through the dude.
Yeah, it's like, it's worth just taking a moment to appreciate from page 148. Just, first of all, it's dedicated to a full page of him winding his sword up, essentially. Yeah. And then the like payoff on the next page of just him like whooshing it up into this gust of just like so much air pressure and wind or whatever to fuck up the attack. Oh my God, it is so fucking cool.
And we see he didn't actually cut. I see on this page the dude's name is actually Silat, whatever.
Oh, that's his name? Because I know
they say
I thought that's where he was from.
I didn't even remember seeing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna quickly look again, mainly because not that like it really matters too much, but I want to know if this is kind of a weird, like, are they calling him basically Master Arabia? Like, are they just calling him by where he's from? Yeah. Oh, no, wait, that is his name. Okay. The enigmatic warrior from a strange land, Silat or whatever. So I was reading that wrong. I thought they meant that's the name of the land, but no, that's his name. That's the introduction. Okay. My bad. So they're not just being weirdly racist and just being like Captain India in the house or something dumb.
They should have caught that. That's on them. I do that shit while copywriting all the time. I'm like, man, this makes it sound like I'm referring to like the second thing, but I'm referring to the first. Got to flip that.
Especially because what we're reading is the official English release. Yeah. This isn't a fan translation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's pretty poor, actually. So shame on you guys.
Yeah, they fucking, I mean, they bail though. Like, yeah. Turns out Guts is very good for morale.
Sure.
Showing up, like, so they get rocked. And then we get Guts and Casca just looking at each other.
And you just know, it's like, oh, they gonna fuck.
They're giving those eyes. But then everybody else swarms Guts. They're like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, I really
he gives a little thumbs up to Judo.
Yeah, the thumbs up are so good. I really like the intro page to the next chapter. The way that like it's a light gray instead of like dark to show the shadows or whatever on their faces.
Yeah,
I just really like how this is drawn. This scene. It's super cool. Almost ethereal.
It's, man, I mean, even with the text, it's pretty good. But like without the text, this is also like prime poster material. Like the faces over the thing. Like that's a movie poster.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everybody is stoked that they're here. I'm going to quickly grab him giving the thumbs up because that is also a pretty good sticker right there to use in some way. And yeah, I mean, we get a little bit of them just kind of being happy that
they're literally
Gus is back.
The Raiders are literally all fucking crying.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. They move out and form a new camp or whatever, and there's some conversation that they have. Obviously, this is just a whole bunch of catching guts up and telling us kind of what happened with after the attack, because we haven't really seen how they got out or anything. But basically, Casca just took a whole bunch of shots, got really fucked up, but continued leading her men to get through, essentially, and escape.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's kind of awesome.
I can't tell if you can hear the beeping in the back.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah. I do like going back just a tiny bit to 160, where Corcus is like, the reason this happened to Griffith ain't because of you. No way. Not a chance.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Literally is. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. He's just like, don't think that you had any effect on anything.
Yeah.
God, he's such a piece of shit. I fucking hate him so much.
Yeah, they get the new, Judo relays the news that, like, we have Griffith's location. So,
yeah.
We're going to rescue him.
They're going to rescue them. And everything's going to be back the way it was. We're going to get the band back together, like, literally.
Poor Kurt. He's like, why didn't you come back sooner? How did you not know about us?
Yeah. Is he a child? Like, I don't actually know.
No, he literally is. Like, he's like super young.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, that
early
makes sense.
teens or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I love Guts is just like, I went to the mountains and swung this sword.
It felt good, man.
And then we get that. I mean, him holding up this sword on 166, like, seems like for me, nothing but wielding this really feels true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like kind of the tragedy that we see here. Like, even we've already kind of seen, but like they do build on this, obviously, of like, he already had the thing he was looking for. He had to like learn that he was looking for it, right?
Yeah.
Like, he went off to find himself. He kicked Griffith's ass, and it turns out it was there. But like, he needed to realize that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I think we talked about this a few episodes ago too. It's kind of that thing of like, maybe like what you should enjoy what you have. Like, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe there isn't something bigger and you're like overlooking the thing that makes you happy, because it's always like the grass is greener sort of thing. Right. And like, we've had that discussion while doing this, and it's kind of a tragedy that you're right. His whole thing was like, this is the thing that he's good at, makes him feel good and makes him able to help others. But he wasn't able to realize that. And in doing all and going to find himself, he kind of does fuck up a lot of shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
man.
yeah. Weird.
But like, that's also fucking Griffith's fault for not using his goddamn words.
Yeah.
Like, please stay. I want to have sex with you. Like, is that hard?
Yeah.
Is that hard to say to God?
That's the thing. Like, I think the important lesson here is never use your dick when words will suffice.
Yeah.
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 I think we all learned something here today.
Yeah, fuck Corcus also.
Yeah, I hate Corcus.
Just being a shitbag.
Yep. Yeah, I hate him.
Everybody
I absolutely
is.
fucking hate him. So they're chilling out. He gets some information about Casca, specifically that she was calling out his name or whatever.
Well, she was calling over and over to Griffith. And
yeah.
to Guts.
And to Guts, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. We get we get that moment of like Casca's been watching him and then he notices and she like quickly turns away, like some high school drama type bullshit or something.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. This ends off with them meeting out in the morning or whatever and about to talk.
Yeah.
Whatever. With Casca saying, "Come with me for a bit."
He's leaning up against a tree and she's like facing away. All the fucking intricately drawn armor.
Yep. Yep. This is definitely one of those scenes where it is more important that we show all the detail in them and not even have a background. Because this is about them.
White. Yeah. It's really good.
Yep. It's real good. And that's where we're going to end here for this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. What could Casca possibly say to him at this moment? They've been through so much together. Like,
I mean, it is like, so obviously we both read past this.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But like kind of putting yourself in a first time reader and looking at this, like you probably like, it's like, is she going to be fucking pissed at him? Like, obviously they've been doing all the hints about them, you know, maybe ending up together. Are they going to lean into that? Is she going to have some sort of confession? Like,
yeah. Straight up it was hard because I knew what was coming before even reading it back then. I think if you went into this not owning the like next parts or whatever, or like reading what the next chapter is even titled, the next chapter is entitled Confession. So like you kind of know just automatically what it's going to be like. But yeah, you're right. We kind of don't know like the feel of it because they didn't leave on great terms, really. Like they didn't leave on bad ones, but yeah.
And
it wasn't great.
You don't know, you know, it's been a year. Like Guts has found his thing.
Yeah.
And we don't know like I mean, obviously Casca's been like going through it for the last year, but like how has she changed? Obviously she really didn't want Guts to leave, and there was like clearly a relationship building there after their little night in the cave and all that.
Yeah.
But like, is that at this point, is that something that even matters to her? You know, she spent the last year fucking just surviving. Does she even give a shit about any of that anymore?
Right. Yeah, no, there's so much that obviously these two need to have a discussion about.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like we need to talk.
Yeah, it's a we need to talk for sure. Yeah, I guess just as a fair warning to people that listen to this, these have been really long, and like we know that. The next episode is likely not going to be very long, but
it'd be weird if it was long.
Yeah, definitely. But we're coming up to ones that are going to be maybe incredibly long.
There is incoming unavoidable beefiness. In part because like it's so hard to do you cut into half of an event, you know?
Yeah,
there's
you try not to.
There's like clear defined things. So yeah, I mean, you even said it'll probably end up being like multiple, just like a single discussion, but like chopped up into like two pieces or whatever.
Maybe even three, depending on how big it is. Like
yeah, depending on how long it all goes.
Yeah,
one of these coming up. I'll bet we can get to like. It just has to be a weekend because like it's gonna be a 4-hour discussion.
I know.
Like I'm looking so forward to it. Like,
yeah,
just doing the deep dive.
And I guess like also the fair warning, the thing that we were talking about that like made me kind of physically ill reading it, or like just kind of full of like weird anxiety the whole time. That's coming up.
Yep. Yeah, it's not the next one though. The next one is
it's not the next two. I'll give fair warning. Like I've been saying, maybe I should put like a warning thing at the beginning. I think that one I will actually like record a listen. Maybe just as a heads up, you could skip this episode because this has no huge basis on what's coming.
I mean, we also ideally it will like we could like start out with that, and then if you provide like a hey, if you want to skip the actual horrendous garbage, skip to this time code.
Yeah, maybe.
Be fine,
I mean, like, we were considering not even talking about that volume.
Just like skipping
in general.
It's garbage.
There's
It's so bad. It's so fucking bad for no reason at all.
Yeah, and then the important thing that happens at the very end of it.
Yeah.
So it's like
like the relevant stuff. Like you can literally it's like 3 hours of content for talking. Yeah. And then like the only thing that matters is like the last 2 chapters or whatever.
Yeah, it's insane. So that's coming up, but we're getting there. We're actually getting pretty close to the big one. So that's exciting, though. That's exciting.
Dude, I'm pumped.
But next time, we will find out what Casca and Guts have to talk about. So stay tuned, especially if you are on Team Gutska. I don't know how you would put their names together. Casguts?
Yeah.
Casguts? Oh, God, it's so gross. You're going to want to listen to the next one if you care at all about these characters. So stay tuned.